What you see?
It shows everything from the moments leading up to the stabbing, to the medical response, to then the beginning of the police investigation.
Okay, and it lasted several minutes is what they showed you.
It did, about 30 minutes.
Okay, so let's start in the beginning now.
You're watching the evening news when the crawl at the bottom of the screen stops you cold. Breaking. Federal investigation opened into Anthony family finances. The anchor's voice confirms what people online were only whispering days ago. The $30 million home sale that Karmelo Anthony's parents rushed to complete after their first-degree murder indictment? It's triggered a deeper probe by federal authorities. And now, you can feel the weight of something much bigger pressing in. You rewind the footage, trying to catch every word. The report outlines how the Anthony family's sudden decision to sell their primary residence, a sprawling mansion just outside Dallas, raised immediate red flags. Why the urgency? Why no transparency about the buyer? And why, within 48 hours of listing, was it quietly funneled through a trust no one had heard of before? Federal investigators aren't just looking at the sale, they're looking at the timing. The property was listed the day after the indictment and closed almost instantly, with no public record of showings. To prosecutors, it smells like a preemptive move, one meant to liquidate assets before potential seizure orders could be filed. According to sources close to the investigation, the DOJ is now reviewing whether the sale was designed to shield wealth from restitution payments or to move money offshore. And it gets worse. The buyer's identity, still sealed. The transaction route, traced to a shell company connected to a network of offshore accounts flagged in a 2021 banking audit. The Anthony family's legal team claims it's all coincidence, just a family trying to protect their legacy. But the feds don't buy it, and now people are asking, if your family was facing the trial of a lifetime, would you sell everything and disappear into the shadows, or stand and fight? You're scrolling through real estate listings when one particular image stops you cold. The Anthony estate, that towering, modern $30 million mansion, now plastered with a bright red "for sale" banner. But this isn't a real estate headline. This is fallout. The once pristine image of the Anthony family has crumbled under the weight of their legal scandal. And this sale isn't about downsizing, it's about survival. According to sources close to the investigation, the court has frozen a significant portion of the Anthony family's financial assets, citing concerns about donor fraud and the improper use of GoFundMe proceeds. That means if the family wants to pay for high-profile legal defense teams or even maintain basic expenses, they're left with one option: liquidate. This mansion wasn't just a home, it was a symbol of status, success, and public favor. Lavish marble floors, 8-car garage, indoor pool, smart security systems, everything built for comfort, now being ripped apart by necessity. Real estate agents have reportedly received offers well below asking price, but sources say the family is desperate to close quickly before additional asset seizures begin. And now people are asking the hard questions. How much of this was funded by donation money? Were supporters unknowingly contributing to the purchase or upkeep of a multi-million-dollar home while thinking they were helping with legal defense? The online backlash is growing. TikTok threads, YouTube breakdowns, Reddit exposés. Everyone wants to know how deep the deception went. Because when you claim you're broke in court, but live behind iron gates and palm-lined driveways, it's no longer just a legal case, it's a betrayal. Would you trust someone again if the mansion they're now selling was partly paid for with your sympathy? You're watching the footage on loop now. Drone shots circling the Anthony estate, a once private fortress now exposed to the public like a crime scene. But this isn't just about selling a house. It's about unraveling a lifestyle built on a carefully crafted illusion. Court documents just released show that the $30 million home wasn't fully paid off. In fact, much of it was financed after the initial crowdfunding spike. That means while donors thought their contributions were going toward legal defense and daily necessities, the Anthonys were allegedly funneling chunks of that money into mortgage payments and property upgrades. One document shows a renovation contract signed just 3 weeks after the fundraiser crossed $500,000. New theater system, custom landscaping, even luxury appliances shipped from overseas. Prosecutors argue this timeline is damning, that the Anthony family wasn't preparing for a legal battle, but building their dream home as the walls were closing in. And it's not just the house. Surveillance footage entered into evidence shows a steady stream of designer furniture deliveries, catering trucks for private parties, and valet services coming and going well into the late evening, all while their online messaging screamed financial hardship and desperate need for support. Social media erupts again. "We weren't helping with court costs. We were funding their fantasy," one viral tweet reads. Now, with the property officially listed and investigators tracking every dollar, the narrative has changed. This isn't about a grieving family under fire. It's about optics. It's about strategy. And it's about how far someone will go to hold on to the illusion of innocence and wealth. Would you still defend someone who used your help to fund their lifestyle while standing trial for murder? You're watching live news coverage when the next piece of the story drops. A swarm of reporters surrounds the Metcalf family as they step out of the courthouse. But they're not there for another statement. They're holding documents, legal filings, and with quiet intensity, Austin Metcalf's parents confirm what many suspected. They are suing Karmelo Anthony's parents in civil court. The claim? Emotional distress, obstruction of justice, and misappropriation of public donations. You can feel the shift immediately. This isn't just a criminal trial anymore. It's a full-blown legal war. The Metcalf's attorney addresses the press, holding nothing back. They raised over $1.3 million, he says, and not a cent of it went toward truth. It went toward hiding it. Papers are passed around, showing detailed breakdowns of the Anthony family's spending, luxury hotels, consulting retainers, even private security. Meanwhile, the attorney adds, our clients were burying their son and getting harassed online for asking questions. This is no longer a battle of public opinion. It's a financial reckoning. Cameras zoom in on a highlighted portion of the suit that reads, "Intentional infliction of emotional distress," and in bold lettering, the defendants knowingly weaponized false narratives to control perception and silence grieving victims. Suddenly, the house sale doesn't seem like a PR move. It seems like a desperate attempt to raise liquid cash. You're left asking, if the Anthony family is about to lose everything in court, was it worth it to protect their son, or did they just ensure their own downfall too? And how much should a lie really cost if the truth comes with this kind of pain? You're watching footage play on every major news outlet. Helicopter shots above the Anthony residence, security camera timestamps, and a courtroom sketch that's already gone viral. But none of that hits as hard as what just got released to the public, the financial records. And they're damning. Receipts, wire transfers, and luxury item purchases now show that Karmelo Anthony's parents were allegedly using donor funds for everything except legal fees. One purchase stands out, a $14,000 designer handbag, bought just 2 days after they told the court they were broke. The prosecutor doesn't hold back. In her address to the jury, she says, this wasn't just about protecting their son. This was about exploiting grief and trust for personal luxury. Behind her, slides show more examples. Vacation bookings, private chef invoices, even a $7,000 home theater upgrade installed during the height of public outrage. And now, the Metcalf family's lawyer is stepping in. In a press conference outside the courthouse, he says, they didn't just stab Austin in the heart. They stabbed every person who gave out of compassion. They took hope and turned it into lifestyle. Donors are fuming. Hashtags like refund the truth and justice not jet skis are trending. Influencers who once shared the Anthony family's fundraiser are now issuing public apologies. Some are even threatening to sue for fraud. The courtroom feels colder than it did before, not because of the AC, but because the illusion is broken. It's no longer a story of parents blindly defending a child. It's looking more and more like a calculated operation to turn public sympathy into private gain. And now people are asking, if the crime wasn't enough to shake you, does the betrayal of trust finally do it? What happens when your pain becomes someone else's payday? The prosecutor issues a statement that evening. If any part of this property was improved using funds under false pretenses, it is subject to full government seizure. Justice does not stop at the front door. And now the public is left staring at the screen, wondering, if this was your home, your family's legacy, would you risk it all just to maintain a lie? How far would you go to protect the illusion? You're now standing across the street, watching the final chapter of this once glamorous legacy unfold. News vans pack both sides of the block. Protesters chant on one side. On the other, silent supporters just stare at the mansion that's no longer theirs. The for sale sign is gone, replaced by a construction notice. The estate has officially been seized and is under review for civil asset forfeiture. A demolition crew starts unloading near the east wing. Their job isn't to tear down the entire property, not yet. But they're inspecting structural changes that may have been made to hide evidence based on recent court filings. It's no longer just a home. It's a scene frozen in time, a monument to a cover-up unraveling in public view. Back online, footage of the takedown spreads fast. Aerial shots from drones, leaked text messages, Karmelo's courtroom breakdown, and now, the family's prized home becoming a forensic investigation site. One clip goes viral, a close-up of Karmelo's childhood basketball hoop, still nailed to the garage. Commenters flood in. He had it all. From hoop dreams to headlines. That rim saw innocence. This house hid guilt. Then, the final twist hits social media. The family's attorney confirms that prosecutors are exploring whether this home, bought just 2 years ago, was purchased with money tied to the alleged GoFundMe fraud. If proven, it could result in full government seizure and criminal restitution orders. In other words, they wouldn't just lose the house, they could owe back every dollar raised. And now the question echoes in every comment section, courtroom hall, and TV headline. Was this family just desperate to protect their son, or were they building a kingdom on lies from the very beginning? Would you sacrifice your legacy to protect a secret that was never going to stay hidden?